Hi Pisces, my name is JJ. Welcome to the channel. I'm here to give you guys a tarot reading. Sorry it's taken me a while to get to your sign if you're not so new to the channel, even though it's only been up for a week now. But if you happen to view previous videos, maybe you viewed your sun sign, maybe now you're interested in looking at your moon sign or your rising sign, so you've come here. Sorry it's taken me a while. I'm still getting used to doing all of this. I'm on a bit of a time crunch, I feel. But Pisces, welcome, welcome. Beautiful fishies out there. Oh, you guys, it's I think one of the reasons why I left you towards the end is because, generally speaking, this is so new to me anyway, reading for like a collective. Usually I only read for myself or I read for one person, but not for the collective. And you are a mutable sign, so that doesn't make it easy. Doesn't make it any easier because, like, you know how Geminis can have two different faces? So can Pisces, but not in the same way, of course. It's just that you're a water sign, and so, like, naturally, whatever container a person puts water in, you take the shape of that container, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? You can be as vast as the ocean and as, depends on the situation, of course, you know, as limiting as being placed in a tube, an experimental tube. So you really do go with the flow. You're one of the signs that does go with the flow a lot. Perhaps what makes you different though from other signs is your emotional capacity. You have so much emotion and a lot of it to give. And not necessarily, like, you know, you have a lot of emotion within you as well. So if it's not a lot of emotion to give, it's most certainly a lot of emotion to experience for yourself, which you use to try to get to know yourself more. Oh, Pisces, you know, I don't know you very well. I don't know a lot of Pisces. However, one person that I've been seeing a lot recently, and I'm very happy to have met this person, is a Pisces. And what a wonderful person, really. Quite an enchantress. And you, Pisces, you know, from what I do know of the sign of Pisces and certain Pisceans, can I say that? You know, who I've met in the past, way back way, well before I ever got into the tarot, you know, so that's why these things weren't on the forefront. But I meditated on your cards, and so I had to think about all the Pisces out there. You guys are very enchanting, and part of the reason is because, you know, you really do like to extend yourselves. You're always there for people, and that's really nice of you. Like, you want to sometimes solve people's problems, even though you don't have to, and you know that you don't have to. But what's strange though is that you also you need people to be there for you as well, you know. Pisces, you are the most intuitive of the zodiac. You have a great connection to the spirit realm, to the astral realms. A lot of Pisces are into the occult actually as well. I'm very, very into the occult too. So hey Pisces, if you want to connect. Thing is though, due to your oversensitive nature, sometimes you, like, you know, when you're not having the best of days, you tend to dwell on how you're feeling and stuff, because water signs tend to be the most emotional of all the zodiac. But you, Pisces, you can sometimes, you bring it up a notch, so you can get a bit too oversensitive sometimes. And that means that when you seek friendships, when you seek partnerships, you do it for your own emotional growth as well, to somehow, you know, bring form to all the emotions that you experience within yourself. And it's kind of like it's practice for emotional stability. So it's very normal and very natural for a Pisces to also be around all sorts of different people. People of different signs, cultural backgrounds, you know, tough people, sensitive people, calm people, erratic people, the whole like 9 yards. You don't limit yourselves. And that's because deep down inside, I feel like whether or not this is at the forefront of your thoughts, you value emotional growth and understanding yourselves. And because you're an extremely intuitive person and people in general, you know that the best way to learn about yourself is actually to learn more about people. Because at the end of the day, we are mirrors. We are mirrors to one another. I see you, you see me, we see each other. I see what be lacking within me, you see what be lacking within you. Often when we have difficulties and challenges with people, they're there to teach us something about ourselves which we may not have even been aware was the case to begin with. It can dawn on us a very long time down the road that, hey, this person came into my life, and although it may have been turbulent, they were there to teach me something. People tolerate you guys the most because of your compassionate nature, because you never want to disappoint people. That's never ever your aim. You want to make people feel good about themselves, because it also does make you feel good about yourself too. So here in the recent past, I'm not done shuffling your cards, and more cards will pop out as we proceed with the reading, but I will start with your reading in general and see if we can catch on to any themes here, because there's no theme. I don't come to these readings with a theme in mind, by the way. That's why I opt for the cards to pop out naturally. I like it to have more of an organic flow. I don't want to rely on a spread this early on as I introduce these tarot readings to you guys. Feel free, though, to recommend or suggest whether or not you would like to see a more focused spread, a more focused theme in the future. I'm open to this, of course. But for general readings, I tend to find that this resonates, and it allows us to talk about several things, whether it's career, health, love, wealth, anything you want. So, Three of Cups in your past position here is a very celebratory card. It is a card of getting together with friends, partying perhaps, going out. And the Three of Wands here has also popped out. And it is a, you know, when I look at the Three of Wands, I think of enterprise. I think of someone who is watching their business sail off, and it's not a bad thing. It's not like your business is going away from you. No, it's more like putting your services out there and waiting for a return on investment, or looking to expand. Even it's like looking across the horizon, and you're calm about this because you're in a good place, perhaps with your career. It can be. But it can also be someone who's turned their back on something. And as the story progresses, you know, as the cards come out more, we'll have a better idea of what's actually going on. And of course, you know, you can feel free to tell me if this resonates with you on any level. Take what does work with you and leave the rest. If you hate this reading, it's okay, you can move on, but please don't hate on me. Don't hate on me. But you guys, you Pisces, anyway, I don't think there's a bad bone in your body, seriously. So, correct me if I'm wrong. You also have the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Cups, which is so very, like, it's so you, actually. And you have the Four of Pentacles here. So the Knight of Cups is like a messenger of love. When I look at this card, is someone who he or she is extremely chivalrous in the offer of love that they make, that they bring. They come to you with the best of intentions when they offer you this cup. And this is in your past position, and maybe now you are sort of dreaming of this love, of this person, of what it can mean, or you are stuck in this illusory state of wondering whether or not you can even trust this offering, because Pisces, when you want to escape, you tend to escape to the dream world, and not just when you go to bed at night and sleep. You can get caught in this state of dreaminess, of dreaming ahead and dreaming forward, of what can be, what could be, very easily. So that's why it doesn't surprise me to see the Seven of Cups here. I don't know if the light is bright enough. But if you stay in the state too long, then you can lose grasp of reality. You can lose grasp of reality because the Seven of Cups, you know, not everything in every single chalice is worth exploring at all. Actually, you usually shy upon these things. There's only one cup here, one chalice here that has beautiful gems and jewels coming out of it. The rest have ugly figures, whether it's a snake or a dragon, or I'm not even sure what this is, but the rest, you know, the rest of the chalices have hideous contents. Let's see if I can just, okay. But you are someone at the same time, whoever you are watching this and feeling like this might be a reading for you, you are someone that still knows what they have in life. You are particularly grounded with this card, and that's not something that is typical of a Pisces. A Pisces is usually someone who is so out there and like dreamy and maybe not as airy as an air element, but you have a hint of that. Pisces do like to have people in their lives that can ground them a bit, actually. So this Pentacles here popping up makes sense. And if it's not you knowing what it is that you have, you know, in a past position, which is actually something that the Three of Wands does know. The Three of Wands here. He is confident with his business and all that he's set out there. Export, import, you know, that comes to me as well. He does know what he has. He knows what he has, and he knows what he's, what services he's also provided. But someone who's quite closed off at the same time. Someone who's, you know, got his guard, her or his guard up a little bit, especially when it comes to emotional matters. And you are such an emotional sign. So when you close off, like, to me, that's a bit of a red flag right there. Doesn't mean that you haven't been having fun, though, because you have been with this Three of Cups here. You've been going out. In more present energy is the Queen of Pentacles, who is someone with such a great soul and usually does have a lot of wealth and enjoys luxury and can afford to enjoy certain luxuries in her life. And, you know, when I say wealth, you guys, and even though Pentacles is all about, like, Pentacles is coins and it can be money, wealth comes in so many forms. If you have your health, you are wealthy. If you have great friends and family around you and support, you are wealthy. If you are intelligent, you are wealthy. And of course, if your business is up, you're wealthy. And I can tell here that you've been putting in the effort and you've putting in the work, because you also have the Ten of Wands here. You're pushing forward, and it might feel a little bit difficult right now, because this is always like it's coming towards the end of a cycle when a 10 appears. And it might also feel like there are some opposing forces to you. But this is a card that tells me that success is on the horizon for you because you've been putting in the work. And the Queen of Pentacles is someone who has put in the work. That's why she has all that she has. Yes, this is lovely. I'm glad to see this card. The Ace of Pentacles here. But before the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords popped up. So this is air, an air sign in your life. Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And this air sign does not look very happy, because this air sign can be a widow as well. Someone who has suffered a loss, a lot of losses, you know, in his or her life. Just because it's a queen doesn't mean that it has to be a female, because this is a general reading. So you guys, however it applies to you, listen to that. The Queen of Swords is someone who has her sword up and she's not merciful at all. Like, if you cross her, she will not be very easy with you, even though she is sympathetic deep down inside. Like, if you come to her with issues and with problems, you know, she'll know how to respond in a way that And a lot of, if people hear me say this, they're going to be like, wow, then you don't really know what a sword element is, because sword elements are usually not emotional. They are usually extremely harsh and sharp-tongued. So it's a bit strange for me to say that the Queen of Swords can be sympathetic and compassionate, was the word that I wanted to use. But I feel that out of all the swords, characters, and court cards, she is still, to some degree, empathetic and compassionate because she's been through a lot. But she also doesn't take any crap from anyone. And this might be someone who is around you and who's acting like this. And it could be someone who you might even have to put up with because of the Ace of Pentacles that's popped up here. So they might be like a colleague or someone that you work with who has the ability to also bring up your capital somehow. And here you are coming up as the Queen of Cups, right next to this Ace of Pentacles. Actually, the it's right between you and the Queen of Swords. Here you are thinking about all of this and dwelling on the emotions, sort of trying to make the most out of it and trying not to get overly emotional about the situation. I mean, the Queen of Cups is someone who knows emotions very well. Actually, the Queen of Cups, oh wow, that flew out, thrives on emotion. I don't know if this meant to come out reversed because it fell on the floor. I'm being honest with you guys. So when I get to this card, I'm going to look at both meanings. The upright position and the meaning that happens when it's reversed. So I wanted to show you so far what we have. We have, oh dear, okay. Celebration, taking it a bit easy at work. Maybe because you've done a lot of work so far. Well, that's not to suggest that you're not doing more work in the present, because you are, but you're taking it easy, you're having your fun, you know how to balance between business and work. And this is in the recent past, not so long ago, I feel. And here comes the Knight of Cups, someone offering love with an offer of love, and he's actually riding towards this Seven of Cups here, which I completely think of Pisces when this card comes up, because of some of your tendencies to daydream and sometimes get too caught up in that dreaming. With the Four of Pentacles right next to it, you know what you have, but you're guarded. Your heart is guarded. It's a bit on lockdown because you are extremely intuitive, Pisces, and you can sniff a rat when one does come across you. But because you're also intuitive, you also know, you can also spot a diamond in the rough. But you're a bit cautious at this time and holding on, clinging on tightly to what it is that you have and guarding your heart, because you want to make sure first whether or not this offering of love here, this offer of love, actually because the way I see it is he is riding right into it, actually. You want to know whether this offer of love is good for you or bad for you, or if it's going to bring you down. Maybe you've been through a lot. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who's quite solid at work. She's wealthy, she's confident, she's got a lot of wisdom. While the Ten of Wands is someone who is, and if this is not you, this is Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. But it can also just be an energy that represents your state at work. Ten of Wands, someone who really, really, is really pushing forward and trying to reach his end goal, but is feeling a little bit oppressed, perhaps. And this oppression might be coming from this Queen of Swords here, air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, who you might have some sort of joint finances with. I wish I could show you this the way I see it. Okay. It's actually like this. This is the actual depiction when I am viewing the cards in front of me. Do you see how this Ace of Pentacles is shoved right between the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups here? The Queen of Cups is very much you, Pisces. And if it's not you, it's Scorpio or Cancer. But for the purposes of this reading, this is you. And this is an air sign in your life. And it might be that you have joint finances together, or a business together, or you work together, a colleague of sorts, someone you have to put up with. And it's someone who, might be a little bit difficult to work around. But together, you still make a solid team. You still make a solid team, and there is abundance when it comes to pretty much like all things related to the two of you, all things that you share. Your money goes up, you're happier. Some argue that this is the most favorable card in the deck. Edward Waite himself says this. But that doesn't mean that you're not, that doesn't mean that it's all that easy with this person. She's the Queen of Swords, man. I'm not a fan. Not always a fan. And in the immediate future, with this Five of Cups that's popped out, it came kind of, when I picked it up in the reverse. In the upright, Five of Cups is someone who suffered a disappointment. It is a card of feeling a little bit of lack. This person is dwelling on spilt milk here. This person has suffered a loss. This is the loss that this person has suffered. It doesn't see that right behind him, if he or she turns around, it's not all bad. And this is not a feeling that lasts forever at all. In the reverse, and because I picked it up in the reverse, I'm going to read it in the reverse. Someone, like a family member, might be coming back. I wonder if that resonates with anyone. A family member might be returning. A new alliance be made as well in the future. So keep that in mind. Because I don't see here anything for you to be disappointed about. So it makes sense that I picked it up in the reverse. Especially with this Ace of Pentacles here, which is so great in the present energy. But, I mustn't forget to say this. There are 3 queens here, okay? 3 queens. And someone else got this, actually, in one of the previous readings I did. Was it Aries? I think it was Aries. 3 queens, I have to say this, can also represent deception. Someone not being extremely honest with you. Someone is not being very loyal to you. I'm not going to point fingers and say it's an earth sign or an air sign or even a water sign, because let's not play that game. You know best. And you are the most intuitive sign in the zodiac, so you definitely know best, Pisces. But with 3 queens here, not a fan. Deception. So, of course not with everyone, but deception. This really flew out of the freaking deck. And it's the 2 of Swords. And she ain't hiding. I don't have to flip her around because, she just came out right upright. 2 of Swords. Okay. You have Temperance and the 2 of Swords right after this 5 of Cups in the reverse, which can suggest that a family member is coming back or a new alliance is about to develop, or voided projects. And by that, I mean an idea for a project that you have. You might not go through with it for whatever reason. And with the Temperance card here, there's this need for you to balance out the different factors of your life, from work to emotions, to friendships, and spending time with your family. Even though everything here does seem, actually evenly distributed, Temperance has still popped out. So maybe you're spending too much time working, because out of all the elements here, there is a lot of work happening. There's quite a lot of emphasis on finances and on business and alliances in the workplace between partners or influential people, because, queens are powerful people still. So, but there is a need for balance here with the Temperance card saying you need to make sure that you are balanced on all fronts of your life. 2 of Swords, there is a decision to be made in the future, and it might not be a very nice decision either, because Swords is not a friendly energy at all. this might be a decision that you have to make without even knowing all the facts, Pisces, and one that might take an emotional toll on you. You, especially because you are a water sign. You don't know all the facts here. Please beware of this. Feeling left out in the cold energy, walking away from something, maybe because you don't feel so ready to make this decision. But it has to happen. There's a lot of decision making that needs to come about, with a lot of signs. This seems to be a recurring theme, and when I come to think about it, okay, that makes a bit of sense because we mingle with people all the time, right? And so if one sign has a decision to make and that decision has to be about someone, and that someone is another sign entirely, and then in their sun sign reading, that other person's sun sign reading, they get that there's a decision that needs to be made. For some, it's a harder decision than others, like with this Two of Swords, because I've been seeing the Two of Pentacles pop up in other people's readings, but the Two of Pentacles is an easier decision to make, but that can just be a reflection that it's easier on that person to make that decision. But for you, this is not so easy because you like to think through things and you don't want to hurt anyone. That includes yourself, of course. So with the Five of Pentacles here, this is like a feeling of being left out in the cold. But it can also, mean that you have support there, like someone through thick or thin, Pisces. It can be that. And you also have the Page of Wands here. I like this energy because it's fast energy. It's messages coming in, perhaps even about new opportunities. This person is looking at this wand and admiring it. I mean, Wands is very passionate energy. It's fire energy. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. So this is a little bit confusing, this last row here, I have to admit. But I will try to clarify. I would like to clarify this Two of Swords and Five of Pentacles. I've told a few of the other signs that I have a divination journal, which I like to keep by side because sometimes, especially, when cards come up and they seem to be slightly out of place, then I have taken down notes. I take notes, basically, of patterns that occur that sometimes don't come to me immediately, although I heavily rely on intuition when these cards pop out. You know what, Pisces? If this is not a decision, the Two of Swords, ooh, yes, baby. I'm really, really happy that card came out. I'm happy it came out. I am. Even if it's in the reverse, I'm still happy it came out. I wanted to say, before I move on to this beautiful Two of Cups that came out in reverse here, if this is not a decision, and you happen to be a female watching this video, this can suggest that, there's a gift coming your way. Or someone is finally coming into agreement with you, and it could be this Queen of Swords here. If this Queen of Swords has been causing some problems recently, and I feel that this has been going on for quite a while, there might be some sort of concord, it's harmonious energy, and with this Two of Cups coming out, that suggests that feeling even more, that there will be some form of agreement that you come to. It's kind of like saying truce, peace. We've been fighting too much, and where's the fighting getting us? And hey, we've got something good going on here with this Ace of Pentacles. So let's focus on that. I mean, we're in it together, aren't we? We are, through thick and thin. So it makes you feel a bit more like, if this was a project, that was something that you were already quite passionate about, but you were, a little bit weary of this Queen of Swords maybe causing problems. Now you're back to feeling like we can start anew again. Pages are young energy. So even though you come up here as a Queen of Cups, you can start to feel, young again with this Page of Wands here. And able to integrate new ideas, moving forward into new territory as well. Maybe you're expanding your business somehow, if this is about a business. And if it's not about a business and you are still a woman, you will come to realize that there is a chance at renewing things between you and this individual. It's not all bad. Two of Cups is a very nice union between people. And with the Two of Cups, these people, they agree with each other. It's a harmonious attitude. And that's nice to have here in your reading. With it coming in the reverse, I just have to, it's the same thing. It's passion. I really heavily feel that, this is less about love and it is more about business as a general theme here going on. So, Two of Cups, yes, harmonious. Some people say it's soulmate card. Don't get too stuck in that thought, because I do seriously feel that this is more of a business-oriented reading going on here. And so with it did pop out in the reverse. Still a good thing. It's not a break in a harmony or anything like that. It's passionate feelings. So that's good. It is you reviving your passion, your sense of passion in a business, which is how I felt this Page of Wands was demonstrating itself more as an energy here. And that's great. That is great. I feel that if your heart is on guard now, this is in the past position. In more present energy, you're being the Queen of Cups here, reflecting on your emotions a bit more. And the Queen of Cups is someone who really thrives on emotion. And as a result of this alliance that comes into play in the near future, you're going to start to feel more confident and passionate about the business that you share with this Queen of Swords here. If this happens to be a business partner that, has a say in the money and how much money comes in and the abundance. And with you two being a team, it's going to get better. If things have been a little bit rough, if you felt oppressed, if you felt like this person was crossing you. Now, this Queen of Pentacles figure can also be a combination of the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups, harnessing this beautiful Ace of Pentacles here. Maybe together you make this Queen of Pentacles. But really, in your reading, I'm confused about this Queen of Pentacles a bit. And like I said, please be warned. With three queens popping up in a reading like this, there's some deception there. Not for everyone, but it could be for some of you. So do pay attention to that. You have 2 3s in your reading. I'm going to see if the numbers have anything to add onto this. Not so much, more than there is a sense of calm coming to you. And that's nice. At the bottom of the deck, who's this? The King of Swords here. Oh dear. No, we're not. That was clearly a slip. I did not have a good handle on the cards there. I'm sorry, Pisces. Do forgive me. King of Swords. Usually married to the Queen of Swords. Doesn't have to be. This is another character in your life, another air sign it can be. And maybe it's an air sign that is involved here. You know how they say, with the deceptions, they don't come like that if there is a deception, right? It doesn't just happen like that. Sometimes there can be conspiracy happening behind the scenes. Because this King of Swords is also catching me off guard. It's what's he doing here? What's he doing here? He's kind of assessing the situation, I feel. He's assessing it, making a judgment on it. He might be this overhead figure that you have not been paying attention to recently a lot, but he oversees things. He or she oversees everything that's going on. Can be an authority figure. Pisces, you certainly know your situation more than I do, but do let me know if this has resonated with you. So far, your reading has been the longest reading, 4.5 minutes, so I will conclude things here for sure. Do let me let me know. Wow, I am stumbling over words. If this resonates with you, or if it doesn't. If it doesn't, give me a thumbs down. Wow, you guys, really? I don't know what's happening with me. If it resonates, thumbs up. If it doesn't, thumbs down. You don't have to, of course. You can also just move on. Leave me a comment if you have anything you'd like to say. Any feedback you'd like to give is highly appreciated. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for viewing. And lots of love to you. Bye.